Have you ever been absolutely certain of something only to discover it never happened? A moment you remember in perfect detail, the colors, the voices, the emotions, yet the world insists you're wrong? This is the phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect. Millions of people collectively misremembering events, names, faces, even entire histories. Some see it as evidence of alternate timelines. Some call it mass delusion. But science has a different explanation, one far more intimate and unsettling. Your brain isn't a camera, it's a storyteller. And sometimes it tells the wrong story with absolute confidence. This episode is about false memories, why the brain creates them, and how the Mandela Replay reveals the hidden architecture of the human mind. The first glitch. Let's start with a feeling you know very well. The sudden jolt when you learn your memory is wrong. You swear a logo looked different. You swear a movie quote ended another way. You swear a childhood detail happened exactly as you remember. And then, Google, friends, reality itself says you're mistaken. That gap between certainty and correction? That's where the Mandela Replay begins. The name comes from thousands of people across the world who genuinely believed, with total clarity, that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s. Many even remember seeing the funeral on TV. They can describe the speeches, the flag, the crowd. Except Mandela didn't die until 2013. So how do thousands of unrelated people remember the same false event? To answer that, we have to understand a brutal truth. Memory isn't a recording. It's a reconstruction, rebuilt every time you remember it. And every reconstruction leaves room for error. A brain built to guess. Your brain's job is not to store the past. Its job is to predict the future. Memory is one of the tools it uses to do that. But it's not precise, it's efficient. When you recall something, your brain fills in missing details, smooths out inconsistencies, merges similar events, invents pieces to make the story complete. The result feels real because the brain presents it with total confidence. Neurologists call this memory consolidation and reconsolidation. Every time you access a memory, you rewrite it again and again. The more emotional or meaningful the memory, the stronger and more distorted it becomes. This ability helps us survive. It lets us learn from patterns, not specifics. It keeps us from drowning in irrelevant details. But that power comes with a cost. Your memories can betray you. False memories aren't a glitch. They're a feature of how the brain works. The Mandela Replay isn't a mystery of the universe. It's a window into the machinery of consciousness. So what exactly creates a false memory? Scientists point to three major processes. 1. Cross-wiring similar information. Your brain groups similar events together. Childhood memories blur. Names merge. Logos blend. Movie quotes get altered to fit rhythm or logic. You remember the essence, not the details. This is why Luke, I am your father, feels right. It fits the emotional memory better than the real line. 2. Social reinforcement. When enough people share a false detail, it becomes a collective memory. This is why entire groups misremember the same logo, the same cartoon line, the same historical moment. Humans are wired to sync memories with the tribe. 3. Memory reconstruction errors. Each recall destabilizes the memory. Your brain fills gaps using cultural cues, imagination, assumptions, emotional bias, the most logical version of events, Over time, the rewritten version fully replaces the original. A neuroscientist once said, "Your brain cares more about having a coherent story than a true one." This is the heart of the Mandela Replay, the brain choosing consistency over accuracy. The emotional engine of memory. False memories aren't just cognitive, they're emotional. Your brain prioritizes memories tied to fear, nostalgia, childhood, trauma, strong beliefs, identity. If an event fits your worldview, your brain is more likely to remember it even if it never occurred. For example, children who grew up with certain brands or shows often remember details that never existed. Not because they're wrong, but because their brain filled the gaps with emotional logic. Trauma can create false memories too, a protective mechanism, like rewriting a painful scene so it feels survivable. Even nostalgia distorts memory. The past always feels simpler, warmer, clearer, because your brain polishes it each time you revisit it. Emotion fuels memory, and emotion rewrites memory. That's why two people can live through the same event and walk away with completely different stories. Memory is not truth. Memory is perspective. Scientists have shown how disturbingly easy it is to implant false memories. In one famous experiment, researchers convinced people they got lost in a mall as a child, an event that never happened. After just a few sessions, participants remembered the fear, the store layouts, the clothes they wore, even the hand of the stranger who helped them. None of it was real, but the brain built the memory anyway, with rich detail and emotion. Another experiment planted memories of witnessing a car crash, being attacked by an animal, being accused of a crime. People recalled these false events as vividly as real ones. The brain cannot reliably distinguish memory from imagination once the emotional and narrative structures fuse. This is why eyewitness testimony is often unreliable. People sincerely believe the wrong memory because it feels true. Truth is biological, not factual. When memory becomes reality. So why does the Mandela Replay fascinate us so much? Because it challenges the one thing we think we can trust, our own mind. When a memory fails, it shakes our sense of identity. If you can't trust your past, can you trust anything? But instead of fear, look at this phenomenon differently. It proves that memory is creative, adaptive, flexible. A painful memory can be softened. A meaningless memory can be enhanced. A traumatic memory can be rewritten. This same mechanism, the one that creates false memories, is the one that allows therapy to work, healing to occur, and personal growth to happen. Your brain is not a storage device, it's an artist. It paints, revises, corrects, and sometimes even invents. Not because it's broken, but because it's trying to make your life coherent. The Mandela Replay shows us how powerful that storytelling machine really is. If the brain can rewrite the past, what else can it rewrite? Memories shape identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes the future. So perhaps the question isn't, why do false memories exist? Perhaps the real question is, what is memory for? Maybe memory's purpose isn't accuracy. Maybe it's meaning. Maybe its goal is not to record life, but to make sense of it. The Mandela Replay reminds us that we live not in a perfect timeline, but in a personal narrative, one the brain edits every day. Your memories are stories. Your brain is the storyteller, and sometimes the story changes. Welcome to the world beyond the mind.